Hey, welcome back to Ubi's Tips. Now today we're going to be talking about this bad boy right here, a hybrid solar charge inverter controller, MPPT, all the works, all in just one little box. Now I've been wanting to get into solar power for a while now, especially building the house about 1,000 feet that way. And this is a good reason for me to break into solar power. So let me tell you about some of the specs. Like I said, this is 3,600 watts with a 7,200 watt surge. It does have a second output rated at 1,200 watts. It is a 24 volt system. It has it can charge up to 120 amps. One of the reasons I got this inverter because it does have a high solar input. You could do little as 60 volts all the way up to now one thing says 500 volts, another one says 450 volts. So I think I'll stay below the 450 volts. Right now I have 313 going into it at the moment. You could have up to 18 amps. I'm only pushing 7 amps, so I could easily do a parallel connection with some more panels and boost it up to about 14 on amps. And you can put a total of 4,200 watts of solar power into this unit. So this is the after install image of the inverter. I recorded everything from where I got it to where I opened it, the unboxing, and set it up. So guys, follow along, and watch me try my best to hook this up the first time. Look, it's here, finally. Now we can do some unboxing. Now, don't mind the mess, because it's my garage and it's kind of messy in here. Come on. All right. Wow, a box in a box. Yeah, that's always like Amazon, isn't it? And of course, I don't have a pocket knife, so I'm going to have to use my little dry saw. And as you can see, it's the 24 volt version, not the 48 volt. All right, well, got the 3 kilowatt manual, but since I'm a guy, I'm probably not going to read it. Yeah, I'm just kidding, I will be reading it. Alrighty, and there's all the information on the side. Looks like just two mounting holes. I was kind of wondering if it would have 4, but it looks like it doesn't. There's just mount, it sits against the wall. It mounts up there. Let me go grab my Phillips. Looks like it's a number 1 Phillips, not number 2 Phillips. Let me go grab my screwdriver, which I don't know if it's in here. I'll be right back. I don't have a number 1 Phillips, but I have a number 2. Let's see if it's number 2. No, okay, number 2 will get it. I was kind of worried it'd be a number 1 Phillips. All the connections will go in this little cover here. Oh, 2 more screws. I was kind of wondering if it'd be like a little hinge or something, but it's not. It's just 4 screws. so if you come in and look right here, this little portal, this is where the grid goes in here. Let me see. Yep. AC in, main out, secondary out. The battery goes in right here, and you got 2 communications port, which I don't really know what that stuff is yet. The Wi-Fi, which of course I didn't get the Wi-Fi module or anything. And that's your solar panel in right here. Alrighty, well, what we have to do now is hook it to the wall, run our wires, put our solar panels out in the sun, and let's get to it. So I'll build my array right here, but just for this moment, to get everything tested, I was gonna lay out the panels right here, and the wires gonna go up, and I already have a hole already up here. So basically, this will going in the attic to the inverter, so the power will come down right here into my solar array right here. My son right now is going to go grab. I have 6 panels from where I had solar power on my house before. These are the 235 watts. Kind of dirty. 225 watts panels. 225, not 235. I got the access panel right here whenever I put the foam board in to insulate it. And there's my access to get up there. And I just have to go run the wire from that hole, which is on the far side over there, run it all over here through the access port right here. And I'll probably put the inverter right there. Alrighty, well, as you see, I'm already a little sweaty because you saw the time lapse of me in the attic running this wire all the way from that hole all the way to right here. So this is the wire that's will be for the actual solar power coming into the inverter. So I want to show you real quick a way how this is 7.5 inches between the holes, but here's how I do it. I'll probably do it different than what some people do, but I'm going to show you how I do it. Take some painter's tape. That's all I need. Do it like that. And what I do is I just put finger pressure on one of those holes are. That way when I pull it off, it's going to be hard for you to tell, but I got 2 indents. I got indent here and an indent there. Can you see it on camera where the indents are? So that's the perfect size for where those holes are. Bring it over here. Now, of course, I'm going to trust, which is a hard word, that these bricks are level. But now I know where I need to drill the holes at. Every phone has a measure. It's already on level. That way I can tell if it's level or not. So I'm going to take my phone over here. All right, my phone says it's level. Looks like it's just a little skewed, but I want to trust it. My drill is actually down at the house I'm building. Luckily, it's just about 700 feet that way. This is my impact. So this right here won't do what I need it to. So let's go get my drill.
Would you like to drive, or would you like me to drive?
I'll drive. Just
You want me to sit in the back?
well, you gotta watch where we're going.
Oh my god, you drive like a maniac. Ah! No! This is a golf course! You're gonna make us fall!
Okay, get my anchors and my screws I'm going to use. I'm not too worried about making a mess because you actually tell this is a wood shop and everything down here is kind of dirty. So I'm not going to worry about getting the dust from the center blocks. Oop. I did. Oh.
You lost your tape.
There we go. Ooh, that's hot. Folks, drill bits get hot whenever you take them out of the wall.
Very squeaky.
Alright, now here's my other anchor. See, I got the hole. These are the anchors that go in so you can put screws in. Luckily, this ain't too terribly heavy. It's just awkward. Alrighty. Question is I'll be able to get my drill bit in here. I might have to go get my extension. There's one. Little extension for the drill bit just goes, or the Phillips bit goes there. That way it gives me so I can get it further away from it. All right, I changed one thing off camera. I did have the wire coming out right here, which means I would have to come here, over, down. That's too many angles. So what I did is I just fished it over here. So I'll move it over here in a second. That way I can go straight down right here and go right in. That way I don't have to make I don't have to drill the holes and put like the anchors and all that stuff. I can just pretty much staple it right to the wood. One of the problems I'm going to handle with is what side of this wire I want to have as positive and what side I want negative, because there's no identification anywhere around here except for the words. The words are only on one side of the cable. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the word side positive. I'm not sure if that's correct, but that's just what I'm going to do in my head. The word side will be positive. To split the wire, I just got a new razor blade. And I'm just going to split the wire. And of course, Boy Scouts tells me not to cut toward yourself. So I really need to start doing it probably this way away from myself. Biggest challenge was I was trying to make sure I didn't get any of the wire show under there. But no wire. You're supposed to have wire strippers. I don't have any wire strippers on hand, so what I'm going to do is the bad way. So kids, don't do this at home. Only trained professionals like myself. So I'm just going to take the wire, pinch it, probably do it one time around, and pull it. There we go. That's all you need, just a little bit. I'm just going to twist the ends. I'm probably going to trim out the side just a shiny bit. The reason I'm trimming it is because I don't want to have too much of the bare wire exposed on the bottom side of the terminals right there. Now what I should do, which I will do in the future, is get some red tape and wrap it around the side that's supposed to be positive, which is the word side, which is this side over here. And I've already took my flashlight because there's no identification which side's positive, which side's negative. But I had a flashlight and I looked up underneath. The red wire is over here, the black wire is over here, so I know that one's positive, that one's negative. I wish they would have put some kind of marking somewhere around here, which side's positive, which side's negative. They didn't have that, so I just took my flashlight and looked. So what I'm gonna do now, I gotta get on my knees. On my knees, please.
You're proposing.
Okay, so make sure I have the positive on the left. I do. There we go. I have my screwdriver handy, and now I'm just going to tighten her down. Now, one thing I noticed, this lug is really it's only these two screws are holding this whole thing in, so it's kind of flimsy. So in a second, to get it torqued down, or I'm gonna have to probably take my finger. No, I can't do it. I was wanting to, okay, just push that plastic piece in. That way I'm supporting the back side of it while I'm torquing down these. There we go. Do a wire tug test, and we're good. Now let me just put the plastic back out. Alrighty guys, so as you can see, I'm in different clothes. It's been about probably about 2 weeks since last time I did this recording about the solar. Last thing you saw me do was hook up the solar panels right here. The reason I didn't record anything else because I had a lot of figuring stuff out, a lot of not gremlins, but just trying to figure stuff out on my own before I shared it with you guys. So I'm going to show you what I did. Okay, so we got the solar panels going in right here. And these two wires here are for my batteries. Now, I know a lot of you guys are going to be like, why are you using 2 different wires? Well, for one, this is what I had, because I already had it. It's free. If I would have went out and bought 2-gauge wire, it would have been $4 a foot. I have about 5 feet from here to my batteries, but that's per wire. So I would actually need 5 foot of red, 5 foot of black. And it's like $4 a foot. So instead of paying $40 for cables, I just used what I had. Now, I'm going to show you that these things are actually working because I have a amp meter. First, I'm going to go, okay, it's already set to DC. So right now, I'm not really pulling any amps right now. So I'll get back to that. So I'll prove that these 2 wires are actually working. Because these are 6-inch wires, I can actually do 50 amp. I got this going to a battery disconnect, so I can disconnect my battery from my solar power. What I'm going to fix and do is I'm going to be actually hooking up a DC breaker. You got to make sure you do a DC breaker, because if you do an AC breaker, a lot of times the connectors, even though it's disconnected, it may arc across. So even though it says disconnected, it may not be disconnected because DC requires a DC breaker, not an AC breaker. And that's what this is a DC breaker. So I'm going to be installing that right here. And these hook on to what they call DIN rails. They just go in and snap in. So I'm going to put this right here in a second. put the breaker in line. So before I can get a draw to prove to you that my wires are working correctly, that's what these are. This is, now, of course, this is a big rat's nest of wires. This is just to do some testing. I'm going to fully fix this in a second. But this first two lugs right here are the ACN. So this breaker right here goes over here. Same thing for my ground. Neutral goes over here. So this is my ACN. These two right here go to the our big RV. So this is, we got 30 amp RV. So this is going to my RV. This is just going down some conduit to right over here to my sol station, my golf cart charger. So that's why that is. Now this, I was telling you earlier, this has 2 legs out. I've already tested it. This does not do 220. It's only 110 only, because I've already checked between the load and load and it doesn't do anything. So it's only 110 only. So until I can get a good current draw, I'm going to go and disconnect the solar power out there so I can put a solar power disconnect in here. Alright, so I had my daughter, my camera lady, to go and turn on the heater inside the RV. So if you look right here, you can see I am pulling pretty much 1 kilowatt, 1.05 kilowatts. My battery's having a 48 amp draw, and we're going to verify it by my amp meter. So if I clamp both wires, you see it turns red. I'm pulling 46 amps. Now if I go just to one wire only, that one wire is doing 24 amps. So therefore both wires, so each wire is both pulling their weight. So 24 amps for both, 46 amps. Same thing to black wires. 49 amps if I just do one wire, half that. So that tells me, even though I didn't do 2 gauge wire, I did 2 6s, it's working pretty good. All right, thank you so much for turning the heater off. So as you see, it's not pulling the 1 kilowatt, now it's just only pulling 114 watts. So first thing I'm gonna do, since I'm gonna be taking this wire off, I already went out to my solar array, disconnected a wire. I'm gonna verify that I have no voltage. So I'm gonna turn my voltmeter to AC to volts, and I'm gonna test, because I know this side is the hot wire, this side here is the ground. So I'm just gonna test between these to make sure. I don't know what that means. Oh, I'm stupid. You know why? Because the voltage coming from the solar panels is not AC. It is DC. So I gotta keep hitting this button here until I get the DC current. Stupid me. So somehow I'm still pulling 21 volts from the solar panels that are disconnected. That's not good. Alright, so that's why you test before you actually cut wire. So let me go out there and recheck everything, and I'll be right back. And I'm back. Oh, don't fall over.
There's
all right,
in the way.
let's do this all over again. I got it set to DC this time. What the world? How am I getting 21 volts again? All right, I'll be right back again. Alrighty, third time's a charm. DC. Hmm, 5 volts. Okay, that's a lot. I don't understand, because I got I got totally disconnected on the other side. All right. And today I got my ferrule kit, so I'm going to be putting ferrules on these wires because this CC wire, which is copper coated, I can't remember what CC stands for at the top, has all these strands. I got little ferrules, so I'm going to put it in crimp on that way. It makes it all one solid wire. So, I already know this is my positive. The words are my negative. So I need to take it out of this thing right there.
No, the tape.
I need to go ahead and take that staple out because that's in my way. Alright, I got some old nails here. I gotta move some of these old nails. Okay. That way now I can put my DIN bar in there. Alright, how these look, you got these little, how do we call those things? Little hooks. So now it'll go on and you just push this forward and it fastens on there. I'm just trying to see, where do I want to cut the wire? About right there. Ow. I pinched myself.
Don't do that.
Little fancy wire strippers. A plate comes down and it pulls apart.
Fancy.
So it has to go. That's way too much wire, so I am going to trim it back just a hair. Okay, that's 12 gauge wire. And here's all my new connectors I got. So 12 gauge is going to be the gray wire, or the gray connector. So I'll need 2 of those. Actually, I need probably 3 of those. Maybe 4 of those. These are my little ferrule kit. See, it's this ferrule crimping toolkit. All right. All I did was just put a simple twist on it. Only problem is it's not going over that jacket right there. See, I told you I cut myself right there.
You said you pinched yourself.
Alright, so the insulator part, the gray part, is not going to go on the outer sheath on that. So I'm going to grab the non-insulating one, which I believe is this top corner up here. Things are so hard to grab. Is that the same size? Yeah. This will allow me to get it on more. There we go. And I got this nice cool crimping tool. And when you squeeze, it makes that circle get smaller. So it squeezes it on there. Just like that. Alright, screwdriver. Right here. There we go. And now do the tug test. That's good. So it's every dad, mechanic, or in this case, carpenter, always has tape around. This is, of course, blue tape. I can't find my electrical tape. That's why I usually like to use is electrical tape. So I'm just going to tape my finger up with some...
Oh, you're not even going to put paper towel on there?
Yeah.
Just tape?
Nah.
Oh, Mr. Irresponsible.
There we go.
It's going to hurt to take off, mister.
No, it's blue tape.
It's still going to hurt.
If you could put it on paint, trim, I don't think it's going to take the skin off when you pull it off.
It's adhesive. I'm not saying it's going to take the skin off. It's just going to hurt. You're going to agitate your wound.
So I'm going to do some ferrules on here. So first I'm going to... I need to go this way. Maybe I don't get my finger this time.
Oh my God, you're scaring me.
Problem is I'm not getting enough bite. So I'm just going to do the old-fashioned way. I already got it started. There we go.
Magic. It's not focusing. Focus.
I probably have a little bit too much. Let me just go ahead and trim that back just a tad. There we go. Alright. And my handy dandy crimper. Here. And go ahead and do this side too.
Your elbow?
Look at those pretty crimps.
Beautiful.
Alrighty. So, screwdriver, there it is. This one go. Alright, now I got one more crimp to do. I guess now I can lock this in place. There we go. That way the breakers, it still moves side to side. I was hoping it would actually kind of lock on, but it's on there, but it still moves side to side. Oh well. But I got a little strand that's not wanting to go into the coupling. Gotta make sure every one of those strands go into the ferrule. There we go. Beautiful. All right, I already know this is my ground, so ground goes to the right. All right, that's in there. Do the tug test. Not coming out. Now put the load wire in. There we are. Do the tug test. All right. And that should be on, but of course I gotta go out there now and reconnect it all. So I'm gonna leave that off for now. I'm gonna go out there and reconnect my solar panels. Then I'll come on and flip that, and hopefully I won't see any sparks. Be right back. All right, so before I flip the switch, I'm gonna verify the multimeter DC. All right, so the ground should be right there. And this should be 313 volts. That's good. Alrighty, here we go. Oh, I thought you were about to trip over again. Alright, so now we got solar panel voltage again. Good on that.
Oh my God, why?
Flip that on.
You weren't blurry before focus. Thank you.
Alright, so we're charging the batteries. Any second now the inverter will kick on and send power back to the RV. There we go. 120 volts. RV currently is using 106. I'm producing right now. Now it's late in the evening. Sorry, it's almost 5 o'clock. So yeah, so my solar panels ain't gonna be producing that much. This around noon it was producing like 1.8, almost 2,000 watts. But now the sun's already past its apex from the panels. So yeah, I'm happy with that. Alright, so now I have a way of disconnecting my solar panels. I just don't like how loose that is, but there's nothing I can really do about that. Alrighty. So my next video, I'm going to show you about this little cuss word.
This little doohickey?
This little dongle. When you buy an inverter, they don't ever come with built-in communications. So you have to buy this thing separate. And this thing is a big pain to get running correctly. I mean, they do send you instructions. As you can see right here, the little dongle hooks to the inverter. And you'd think following the instructions works, but I was about to throw this thing in the trash, or not, I was about to go to Amazon and tell it didn't work. But I was able to get it working, and it was a big, so basically I'm going to show you how to do this. You can just rip these up, throw them in the trash, because these are no good. I'll show you in my next video how I get this thing to work to communicate with my phone, so I can actually look and change things on my phone remotely. Instead of having to come here every time and look at the voltage and amperage, I can do it directly from my phone by using this little dongle. Alright guys, I appreciate y'all and have a good day.